Quentin Awkward. Born in Knob End, Tennessee, to a pair of Hungarian circus freaks, Quentin Awkward was one of the first country stars to sing without the aid of a safety net, and his name has become synonymous with all that is crap in unpopular music. It is also synonymous with all that is unpopular in crap music, and just goes to show what can be achieved with a little talent and a lot of hard work. The little talent that Awkward did possess began to emerge at the age of 7 when he stunned friends and relations by playing the Jew's harp with his buttocks. By the age of 70, he was beginning to demonstrate an aptitude for underwater yodeling and had learned to play 3,562 musical instruments. His first interests, however, did not include the country music that was later to earn him the title "The Fucking Dickhead of Nashville," but are worth mentioning, if only to show what a stupid twat he was. The young Awkward's earliest passions were for goat juggling and welding while nude and blindfolded. It was not until he ran out of sensible options that Awkward considered a career in music. In 1929, it seemed that a dream was about to come true for Quentin Awkward when the Tennessee Operatic Singing Society, TOS, offered him a small part in their production of "Oh Cold Cunter." Fortunately, however, the dream of a theatrical career was cruelly put to an end when a blundered nipple-piercing operation left the young Awkward badly disfigured and hilariously paralysed in the groin area. After a brief but tedious stay at the Tennessee Home for the Perverted, Awkward returned home to Knob End to recuperate. It was here that he began to listen to his Uncle Joe's collections of pornographic recordings and was much taken by the sounds he heard. He was also much taken by his Uncle Joe, but that's another story. Awkward subsequently bought and almost learned to play the pink oboe for which he is now famous, and secured a position with the Travelling Medicine Show, where he is reputed to have performed with great spunk. It is a credit to his tenacity that Awkward held the same position for almost 2 years, until his back seized up. Following recovery, Awkward stood for 3 years as a Member of Parliament until his knees gave in, and ran for president until asthma forced him to stop for a rest. 2 years later he formed his first band, the Tennessee Titheads, and played on local radio until he fell off, dislocating his right testicle and bruising his ego. The following year a similar accident occurred when the Titheads appeared on television for a charity appeal. This time, however, Awkward bruised his right testicle and dislocated his ego. Unlucky or what? In 1932, Awkward cut his first record, "You Think You're My Bird, But You're Just a Tit." The song's erotic lyrics and pulsating rhythm marked it as a classic of early unpopular music, even though it was shit. In 1934, he almost scored a hit with his second studio release, "Stamp Out Philately, Philatelly'll Get You Nowhere." His other near hits included "The Ring Sting Swing" and the ever unpopular "She's on the Rag." His only album, The Misadventures of Quentin Awkward, a medley of musical mishaps, was never recorded and remains unissued. Thank Christ. Awkward's second and most enduring band, the Louisiana Ladyboys, was said to have included some of the finest musicians of the day. Said to, but didn't. In fact, the band actually included some of the worst musicians of all time. Ed Bobbins, and later Roger Senseless, vocal, Pee Wee Shriveldick on dildo and responsible for all the out-of-tune bits on Awkward's records, Big Harry Balls on fiddle, Rim Job Johnson, mouth organ, Deaf Fanny Jakov, who played nothing but stood around looking good, and Just In Case Sit Splits on and off guitar. Quentin Awkward has been involved in a multitude of other activities over the years. Most of these have been illegal, indecent, or downright immoral, and all but one have been bloody pointless. In 1942, he formed Awkward Sod Publications with showbiz luminary Rod Sod, acquired 2 shares in Licking Mucus Records, had a small part in a pornographic film, began a lifelong passion for train spotter spotting, and ran for governor of Tennessee, although he never did catch him. In 1943, he did fuck all. In 1970, he was dishonoured by the country music establishment when rat-catching legend Stanley Dips O'Mania crowned him the fucking dickhead of music. And in the same year, record producer and ex-fascist dictator Adolf Nancy Hister told Stolen Tones magazine, "That cat show is a pile of old shit, man. Let's face it, it don't get no worse than that, baby. Let's have another war. Today, Tuesday, Quentin Awkward plays wherever the beer is free, usually uninvited, and is a regular cast member of the English soap opera Yeasty Benders. His records are still played occasionally on radio, but this is usually by accident, and his reputation continues to fester like an open wound on the face of humanity, despite several attempts to remove it. Notwithstanding recent reports that Awkward doesn't have a dick, never mind having one on his head, the fucking dickhead of music title has endured. Perhaps this paradox will always remain a riddle wrapped in a mystery, inside an enigma, housed in a puzzle, boxed in a conundrum, and bagged in a big bamboozling brain teaser. But perhaps there is a key. In any event, who gives a shit?